Good morning, guys, and happy Monday. I think we are live, but I'm just going to wait a few more moments and just make sure the stream is good and make sure anyone that is trying to come in is able to make it. Right now, I'm also watching Litecoin because it is going off. We missed an entry by like, I don't know, 30 cents roughly, maybe 40 cents. And right now it's up about 10%. This was a crazy run. Could have been an amazing day trade, but we got another day trade this morning with about a 4% profit, which came out to about 600. And then we're going to go over all the things. So I think we are ready to go live. Let me just get everything ready. Okay, so yeah, welcome to the weekly trade review number 47. I believe it's 47. Slow week. This is a very slow week. I only did 5 trades, and actually I haven't traded since Tuesday, last Tuesday, if you don't count the trade that I made this morning. So last week we only made 5 trades and we stopped on Tuesday. So we didn't trade Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Even though I constantly had some really nice limit orders ready to go, but we kept missing the entry just honestly by a hair. So I'm going to be reviewing a lot of those trades, and then also I'm gonna switch a little bit of the focus of these weekly trade reviews to talk a bit more about upcoming trading ideas. We're just going to go over a bit more chart patterns, and then and then see if just kind of think where might be some good ideal entries in the upcoming weeks. And I would say the focus on those would probably be more towards swing trading, possibly day trading as well. I mean, that's what most of our trading is, but a lot of these entries will be more for, if you want to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, maybe even longer. So we're going to be looking at those a lot. I think that basically sums up the housekeeping. And actually, if we go over to the weekly trade review right now on the on the screen, I'll share that one. Let me see if I'm in the middle of the screen. Yeah, roughly give or take in the middle. So this is the weekly trade review number 47, like I said. And if you just come down here, we talked about the housekeeping a little bit, about how we want to focus a bit more towards reviewing charts and trading ideas. So I'm going to kind of speed through everything as much as possible and really get to this and some Q&As. So let's get started by reviewing the tradejournal.co. Here are pictures you can review on your own time, and you can blow them up just by clicking on it, and then they go big screen. Or what you can do is, actually this doesn't work yet, but what we do for this video, so it's a little bit more HD for you guys to see and zoomed in, is I'm just going to go over to my trade journal. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more, make it 110%. And then, yeah, you guys will kind of see everything that's going on. What is this? What is this line? Why are there lines in my trade journal? Never seen that before. That might be my screen related, or you know what? I'm not really even sure why those are there. And now they're gone, so I don't know what that was. Okay, so here's a quick little overview of the week. We ended the week with $759, purely day trades. Yes, last week as well, day trades really kind of bumped us up a lot. Swing trading gave us $700 last week, but this week, I just didn't really trade that much. I was missing a lot of opportunities. I was very, I would say, conservative in my trading. I could have been way more aggressive. Especially since we are in a full bull market on the daily and the 4-hour and the weekly, basically all-time charts over 4 hours. So we are in an all-time bull, and you could even say, I think even that 1 hour is right now definitely full-time bull market, because check out Litecoin right now. Litecoin is exploding, and this is where we missed the entry. I had my entry right under this line a little bit. I was playing too conservative. Now we're up 12%. We might actually have an entry during this live or this weekly trade review live stream. I have a entry at 120, so the price would need to come down a lot, but a lot of times you have these massive spikes during these run-ups, and you could kind of see too right here, boom boom. So if we had a big spike down, we would probably get executed, but I basically have a limit order ready to go right here. I'm not going to chase any of this. I mean, I could have easily been chasing in here and chasing in here, but you just don't really know how strong one of these is going to go, and you don't really know when it's going to turn around, because when it does, it's pretty vicious. So I typically don't trade breakouts, and I don't trade these things, but we'll see. I would love for a crash to come in and then see if we could do any dip buying. If we do that during the live stream, this should get a little interesting, but I'm going to try to avoid it because I really don't like live streaming while I'm focusing on day trading, while I'm focusing on reviewing trades and just doing all these different things at once. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so let's just dive right into the good stuff. So yeah, so actually that is reviewing the trade. So let's go ahead and review these a little bit. So yeah, Monday I had one trade, then Tuesday I had four trades, actually 4-day trades. My first one was really nice, over $300, and then I had two kind of scratches, 2 small losses, and then another really nice 300 plus gain. So yeah, overall the swing trading or the day trading last week was pretty clean and simple. I really liked it. And this week we actually started off really, really nicely. So let me go ahead. Oh, and before I do this, let me show you guys the chart. Boom, boom, boom. Here you can see the general chart. This is just for this year. The green is the total of all my trading. The red is my day trading, and the orange is swing trading, which are very similar right now. My day trading and swing trading in lead wise, and then yellow are investment trades. Obviously those are very slow moving, and I'm going to be holding these positions for, you know, probably a year plus. Right now it's mostly Bitcoin, Track, and another one, NEO, which I'm adding to a little bit over time. Let me actually go back over here, and what I want to do right now is basically just get everything ready for next week. And the way I do that is I just copy this whole entire, all these rows right here, then I remove all the information in it right now. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about this trade, but on Monday, I opened another NEO position. I added to my NEO investment position just a little bit. It was a pretty small addition, but I might review that in this weekly trade review. Otherwise, you can always do it on your own time by checking out my whole entire portfolio by going to crypto.enzo.com right here, and then just clicking under, what is it, trader, and then investor. Where is it? Resources. Yeah, just go to trader and investor, and you can see my investing portfolio. So let's get back to it. There's so many things to always talk about, so I can't get too distracted on these. Okay, so June, right now June 10th, right? But yesterday was the 9th, so let's make it that. And then let's move the dates down here. Whoop, I don't know what I just did. Perfect. So here now we have the new week, and if we go back to charts, you will see that the new week is kind of just this long flat line. Also, what I want to do is add the trade I just closed out today, and that is this one, $690. It was a double bottom long, very cool. We won't review it today. We will review it next week unless I do it earlier. But you can already review it on your own time because this weekly trade, or this is already posted. So you can see day trade right here, Litecoin, $690. Just go ahead and click on that, and you can see this trade, the charts, and what I posted in the Discord trading, private trading chat room. You can see all of it. So it's already instantly gets reviewed. So let's quickly go ahead and add this trade over here. Let's go back to the weekly. And if you don't know what I'm really doing right now, it's fine. We have tutorial videos on a trade journal. We have a whole entire course on how to do everything that I'm doing. Everything that I talk about in this weekly trade reviews, you will understand after you take the course. It's over 50 videos where I talk about really everything there is to know when it comes to trading, especially crypto trading. However, you can use it and apply everything you learn to the equities market, so normal stocks, because that's where originally I came from. I was a trader for over 6 years, and I started in the stock market. Okay, so this looks good. So this week already, just off one trade, we're doing pretty good. We are up $690, so we almost beat last week. Just maybe one more trade will beat last week. And then our weekly average bumped up a little bit already. The reason our weekly average is much lower is because we started this account with about $5,000 and now it's about $26,000. So it's a lot easier to make bigger weeks simply because we have much more funds in our crypto account. So, you know, percentage wise, I'm doing roughly the same trading in terms of returns. But the profits are just much more because we are going much bigger into each trade. For example, check this out. If you go to day trades, you can see my last trade was $16,000 my position size. My trade before that was $17,000 position size. This was an $8,000 position size, but only because we got a partial entry. and all of the past positions have been relatively big. But then you can see my average position size was only $9,000. And that's because if you go to the beginning of the year, you'll see that my trades were using much smaller entries. So this is when our account was roughly at $5,000. We are going in with, $4,000 a trade to $5,000 a trade. And that is why, that's why our averages are a bit lower than what you're seeing basically for everything now. Let's go back ahead. Oh, and I'm not going to take an eye off of this too much. I want to keep watching the Litecoin. This is the 5-minute chart, by the way. Just a lot of cool activity. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this chart for sure. Actually, we're dropping pretty heavy right now. And what I'm going to be looking for is for a potential double bottom to be forming. And what I mean by a double bottom is when we have an initial nice crack, and then we kind of bounce back up and then we come back down again. And I would like to enter on some sort of double bottom. I might even enter on the first crack, especially if it hits my limit order, which is right now at roughly $120 roughly. So that's just a little below this 123.54. So we might be a little too conservative on this order actually to get an entry, but better to me, it's always better to be a little conservative, miss a few moves, but reduce a lot of risk off the table. But yeah, this is quite fun to watch. I could just watch this all day. So I hopefully won't zone out too much during this live stream. But these are really good times to be trading. This is what you wait for in the market. You don't want to trade when there's not a lot of activity, when there's a lot of consolidation, no volume. That's very messy. You can make a lot of mistakes and you kind of can lose money very quickly because you're going to constantly get faked out of positions. You want to trade when the market is doing exactly what it's doing right now. And that's why I didn't really trade last week too much. There was a lot of consolidation, there was a lot of slow movement, and then I was playing extra conservative, and I definitely missed a few moves, and I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive last week, but whatever. I didn't lose money last week. I had a pretty nice week, $700, almost my $1,000 goal. So, in the end, you really can't complain. I just noticed that my microphone was pretty far away from me, so let me move that closer. Hopefully it wasn't too quiet. Okay, I hope that's better, guys. Sorry about that. I just noticed that a little bit late. Let me... Sweet. Okay, so we talked about the tradejournal.co stats a little bit and how you can do it yourself. If you are interested, just go to tradejournal.co and you can learn a little bit more about it, the Google Trade, the trading sheet. And let me actually go to the page right now because we are doing something really cool. Trade Journal is coming out with a beta mode, and this is going to be a cloud version of the Google Sheet template, right? Trade Journal is a Google Sheet template that you can download. We're on our 3rd version and it's around 2 years old. So, it's been refined a little bit and there's a lot of traders that use it and we've constantly updated it based on feedback. But if you're interested in getting Trade Journal cloud version beta and being part of the beta launch, which should be sometime, mid-August we're planning for. There's no date yet. Just go ahead, enter your information here. Let us know what you're looking for your trade journal and let us know what your experience is. I will be reaching out to you personally after you sign up to the forum because I want to get in contact with everyone who is looking forward to the new trade journal. Also, you're probably wondering right now, is it free? Yes, it's going to be entirely free to use. There might be some, ads on the site, something like this, but other than that, it should be free. There are going to be some paid things, but it's maybe, but we'll talk about that a lot more. And it won't be really paid features or anything like that. You're going to be able to use everything, but there's going to be some mentorship things involved, and that's going to be a really cool aspect. So, it's so hard for me not to talk about it right now, but I'm going to be making a video, I believe on Wednesday this week, where I'm going to really dive into it much more. So let me not dive into it too much right now. Okay, getting back on track. Look, there's so much things we got to focus on. We're talking about the live stream and we want to do all these all these trade reviews, and then I'm just going to be watching this chart because this chart is just really exciting. I mean, we broke out from some massive levels today, so we'll be keeping a close eye on this for sure. Here we go again for a second dip. zoom in a little bit more. I can't believe I missed this entry. This entry would have been phenomenal. This is actually a really fitting topic for this video because we missed 3 entries in this week. So actually, I put a star wherever I missed an entry because my limit order was just a little bit too low. So we're going to be reviewing all of those in a little bit, but let me dive in through some of our day trades first. I'll keep this as quick as possible. So for the first trade that we made, I think it was on Monday, you can see that this was it a double bottom? Oh no, I forgot to link this one. But yeah, the first trade was a double bottom, 1.56% profit. You can see right here, whoop, and a $223 profit. Position size a little smaller, $16,000. But let's just go over here. Let's just click on the chart. Did I not link the chart either? Oh man, what am I doing? Okay, I didn't link the chart, but hopefully, okay. So usually you can click on these images and they blow up the big screen, but it looks like I didn't link it properly this time. So I'm just gonna have to zoom in a little bit here, and I hope that is fine for you guys. I'm sorry, I forgot to do that. So we had a huge support line here at about $109, and we came back, and my blue support lines are always longer time frame support lines. My green support lines are a bit more short term, kind of like the moving average. So here we had a big bounce off this $109 level, and then we came back and did a double bottom on this longer term support line bounce, and that's when I entered the trade. I was a little aggressive with this entry actually because I was thinking we were going to be forming more of an ascending channel, and the ascending channels a lot of times don't complete the double bottom entirely, but we got a full double bottom. So you know, that's how that trade went. But pretty cool. I sell fairly quickly, right at, you know, it looks a lot bigger of a bounce, to be honest with you, but 1.56% again. Let me go ahead and talk about this NEO trade for a little bit. So our initial NEO entry was a long time ago. I think it was in November or something like that last year. And we bought 284 of NEO of $14.55. And then we bought a little bit more, $41 in NEO at $12. And let me quickly show you guys on the on the chart what that looks like. So if I go to, which one was it exactly? Go to NEO USDC. Ooh, my computer is really slow right now. Is there anything I can close? Not really. Okay, well, while that is loading, okay, actually, here we go. Check out the chart again. There's probably nothing worse than slow internet, because you can see as a trader, it really kind of just messes up everything that you want to do. Really what I want to focus on is just kind of this chart. I mean, I think we're going to have another dip down here, and then we're probably going to be finding some support right in this $120 area to maybe $122 area. I think we're going to be covered in support in this area, but it doesn't matter if you missed the first entry. What's really important is not catching a falling knife, and the second entry is usually much safer after you have a confirmation that there is some sort of floor, some sort of bottom in place, and that's kind of what we're going to be looking for. I might already go ahead and move up my order a little bit because I do believe this $120 zone might be a little too conservative, but let's go back to this NEO chart first. And if you remember, the NEO entry was sometime last year. So let's see if this goes back far enough. So this is USDC on Binance, but it looks like it doesn't work. It's not going to go back far enough. So let me load NEO USD, which is basically a NEO to Bitcoin, but then it converts it, TradingView converts it to USD. So here was our first entry. And remember, this was not a day trade. This was not a swing trade. This was a long-term investment. So we were just going to hold this kind of regardless what happened. And I should have been a little bit more conservative with this entry and kind of averaged in along the way. For some reason, I didn't do it this time, and I really got punished for it. But I did have another entry right here over the weekend. And let me just zoom into the 1 hour. You can get a better idea how that looks. So yeah, we had last week in the weekly trade review, we talked about some potential entries. for the upcoming week, and NEO was one of them. And I kind of drew this circle that we're going to be seeing a lot of support around here. We did crash below it, and I did want to buy another round, but I kind of missed the transfer for that one, which is fine. There's just so much going on last week, and I was just constantly like missing these trades with limit orders. But whatever. Sometimes you have an off week, and if making $700 in a week is our off week, I think that's okay. Anyway, yeah. So my exit entry for this second order was, I think, what, 12.05, so 12.06 we could almost say. So right around this green line is when I did my second entry. So I'm looking for a continued move to the upside, and that's a little bit about this investing trade long term. What I should have been doing and what I'm doing on my Bitcoin entry is every week I average in a fixed amount. So that's a really nice way to do a longer term investment without having to try to guess any sort of bottom. Works very well with long-term positions if you believe in the underlying asset. I do believe in NEO as a project. I do believe in Bitcoin because Bitcoin is how we actually pay out over 70% of our clients, and Bitcoin just makes a lot of sense in the financial world. If you deal with transferring money internationally, it's just amazing. So a lot of people haven't really understood, I think, Bitcoin yet on a practical level. A lot of people think it's pure speculation. And yes, there is a lot of people involved in the speculation side, but there's a huge practical reason as well. I won't talk about it too much in this video, but that's kind of my personal take on Bitcoin as in terms of value added. Okay, so let's get out of this one. This was another double bottom, although I think I put a support line bounce on this trade, even though it is actually more of a classic double bottom. But here's the short-term view for it. And you can see this is what I mean by it's kind of like a double bottom, but there was a big support line down here. So I think that's why I went ahead and said support line bounce, because, well, simply because we broke down this one, so it wasn't really much of a double bottom anymore. If I entered here, it would have been more of a double bottom, but I was looking for a bigger crash, and we didn't really have that crash, so I kind of entered. And the bigger crash that I was looking for was simply a bigger crash down to this 98.20 cent bounce. Actually, think about this. If you bought right here, and if I just held it, and I sold right now, I would be up 25% on this trade. So that's kind of crazy. That is how much Litecoin has been moving recently. Just absurd stuff. So a little quick overview on the trade journal is you can see this was a 2.19% trade, $16,000, $16,800. So yeah, pretty decent size position size, huge fees. The fees are just horrible. I have another video about the fees. I definitely recommend watching that one and how you can reduce your fees. And again, this was a support line bounce. So yeah, a little bit of recap. And then here are the two scratches, nothing beautiful. Basically on this one, I was looking for, what was I looking for? This was an ascending triangle. Yeah, and honestly, most of my losses is really from these fees. So let's zoom in again. So we didn't make it here, and there is a lot of support coming up, and I was looking at support right here. I was looking for a breakout above this support line again and really move to the upside, but we didn't get it. So I simply closed out my position the second it got choppy, and that's a really nice way to end a trade. And this is again why I get out of my trades very quickly when it no longer goes my way. So again, we have a 0.29% loss, pretty decent fees. And then really what was big here is the trading fees, because this position size was a bit bigger. So, but check this out. If I held my last trade, right, this trade right here, I would have had to take a massive loss at one point. I probably would have cut at my fixed 3% loss area, or maybe got out in this chop, but it just would have been horrible. And then, you know, I also would have missed a potential move to the upside. Although I did miss it anyway, a lot of times if you have a really bad trade, then you'll really miss the next one. This one, I kind of just got faked out into this nonsense, which really sucked, because this should have been a phenomenal trade. I mean, this trade could have been easy 2%, so another $300 profit, and probably put me into the $1,000 a week goal. But my next trade kind of made up for both of these last ones. This was a real support line bounce again. Actually, let's go ahead and review it here. And this was pretty clean. So this was a 2%, again, P&L 2.10, $325 profit, massive fees like always, but a bit bigger of a position size. And let's go over here. You can see we just kind of came crashing down. Here was the first one that we missed. Here was the second one that we missed, although, you know, this was going to be kind of a scratch anyway, because We didn't really have that big breakout like I was expecting. So maybe I would have not got out, and then I probably would have got out here. And then again, it would have been like a $50 profit, just scratch. I don't know. All these trades were just kind of sketchy. But then here is the really good one. We broke down the 98.2%. Kind of long-term, longer frame, 4-hour, 1-day support line. The blue support lines, like I said before, these are the support lines that really go over a long distance, many months, many weeks. It really depends, but they're usually, over a year-long support line. So something that's very, very major. And you can see we came back here, tested, broke it for a little bit, but bounced right back up, which is a big, big bullish confirmation. I was buying on the way up, and then I sold a little bit later for a really clean 10% profit, $325. So pretty consistent trades all week. All the profits or all the profitable trades were almost all the same. They're just waiting for that support line, entering when there's a confirmation of a reversal, and then just taking your profits when you're at 2, ideally more like 3%, but sometimes you want to take your profits a little quicker because you don't know if it's just a dead cat bounce, and you're never going to go broke taking profits quick. So that's kind of why I do that. Okay, so we reviewed so we did the housekeeping, we did the tradejournal.co stats overview. Remember guys, check out tradejournal.co. We are planning the beta launch, and you're gonna get more information about the beta launch, and I definitely wanna see you inside of it. It's gonna be pretty badass, and again, it's gonna be free. So yeah, we also did the top trades and biggest lessons overview. That was reviewing the trades from last week, and then let's dive into some Bitcoin and altcoin charts, and then we'll finishing up with any Q&A sessions. So if I missed any questions in the chat, I will always get to those questions near the end of the video. So don't worry about missing any of those, or if I don't answer you right away, because I will answer you at one point near the end of the video. Okay, so let's review the charts. And actually, before I review my charts, usually I have my watch list. I make 5 watch lists per week, and if you want to get access to the watch list, just go to crypto.enzo.com and you can get access to my watch list, all these trade reviews, and my investor portfolio and all that good stuff. Just go over to enzo.com/start trading, or just go here. And then on the homepage, you could learn about how to, get involved, how to learn trading, how to follow me, how to get, active alerts on everything that I do. So just enter your name and email here, and then you will start, start the fun world of trading. So just go ahead and do that if you are not sure really what's going on right now. I don't want to take too much time for those people that already do know what's going on. So usually on these trade reviews, I'm fairly quick. Also, if you want to get that foundation like I was talking about, where you will definitely know of everything that I'm talking about, there's over 50 videos that I made talking about from getting set up to knowing what you need to look for in the market, how to enter and exit a trade. I mean, we go over everything in over 50 videos. It's a pure how to become a consistently profitable trader video course. We focus very heavily on video. There's not much text. You don't have to read a lot. It's not, I try to keep it very exciting, very simple. And we had over 100 students join on March 31st, 2019 on launch day. So this was a pretty big launch, and you can learn more about all of that, growing that foundation that I was talking about at profitablecryptotrader.com. So if you are interested, just head over to that site and you'll learn much more about it. Everything is on this landing page, so I'm not going to obviously go over it now. You can do it on your own time, but I think you will really enjoy this site. So yeah, cool. That's everything here. Okay, now let's go to the chart and review the charts. Actually, before we review the charts, let's actually check out on this Litecoin situation again. I feel like I haven't looked at it in a year. And by the way, we are really good on time. Usually I've been going way too long on these weekly trade reviews, but it's only 30 minutes, so that is really good. So we're making a little round bottom over here. Seeing some really good support coming in. That's actually quite a bullish indicator. However, I do believe we'll have a little dip down here. What's also really fun to do sometimes, because I don't really like the Coinbase chart, In general, the Coinbase interface it's fairly straightforward when you want to just buy and sell, but in terms of charting, it's not my favorite, and a lot of the times it's extremely laggy. So if the market's really running, the candles won't move, and sometimes there'll be like a dollar discrepancy between what is happening on your trade history, what is showing in your order book, and then what is showing actually on the charts, and that really freaks me out. So whenever that happens, I just go over here on Litecoin, and then I just click on the minute, and then I see kind of the chart in a much bigger, more, I would say, clean interface for me as a trader to use. And you can kind of see that it's moving really slow right now. So I'm actually going to go ahead and close the Coinbase. And yeah, so if you remember, our order was roughly around here at this 122 level. So we'll see if we get an entry, but it would be super sweet. Right now, I'm definitely not going to be chasing anything. I hate trading after a run up like this because, you know, if you just have one quick dip down here, you'll instantly be down a couple $100. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if we just ran down, you know, like a, 3, 4, 5%. So it's just not really something that I want to be involved in. So also I'm going to move this back to my checkers. So yeah, a potential entry would actually be more around here, this $120 area. I think I actually just said 122 before. Too many things going on in my mind. But yeah, if we had a nice crash down here to this $120 area, which was more or less where we really had to break out from, this could be a great entry. Again, I'll probably be moving this up more towards the $122 area, which was the real breakout. So I'll probably go ahead and do that. Most likely this will happen at the end of this trading review. I did see though, which I forgot to talk about in this weekly trade review, is those 3 setups that I missed. And this was a little stressful last week, I gotta say. And in general, we had this descending channel, or you could even say some form of a longer term bull flag. This was more of a bull flag to me, but you could even call this a bull flag, or better, a descending channel, right? We kind of have our resistance over here, our support areas down here, and then every time we touch the support, we kind of have a bounce, and then when we come up here, we have a bit of a rejection. So in these areas, would have been phenomenal entries. Anywhere kind of where there's big support, and then sell where there's big resistance. Another place that would be really good entries and exit is after you have a confirmation, and that is the first star that I want to talk about. So let me go ahead, zoom in on this first star just a little bit, and then we'll talk about that. So we have these 2 longer term support lines that come from a bit in the past where they also acted as support and resistance. And you can see on this descending channel that I drew, we had a big confirmation sign that we didn't break it down from it completely, and then we came back up here, and now we're in this support zone, and we're holding our highs very nicely. That is like the biggest bullish indicator that you will ever see in the world. Forget about RSI, forget about Bollinger Bands or VWAP. Like, just forget about it. It's all about price and volume in the end of the day, and this is all you need to see. Basically, support lines holding, trend lines holding. You're bullish on the daily. You're bullish on the 4-hour, and now the market is looking like we might break out to new highs. Descending channels, a descending pattern typically breaks the upside, so you kind of have all parts moving in the right direction. And that, I would say, this was the pivotal point. You could even say, this would have been a nice entry too. And then if you missed this entry, this would have been a good entry. And then you could have sold anytime, maybe towards this shoulder right here, for a clean 8% profit. This could have been a swing trade. This could have been a day trade. The fact that I missed this setup just kind of freaks me out. Again, I had a limit order right around here for this double bottom. It was about, I don't know, a little over $100, and I missed that. So that was my first miss of the week. And let's talk about the second miss. So the second miss is finally when we broke above these massive levels here, this $116 level. Just keep this in mind. This is kind of where there was always a lot of rejection going on. Here you can see 3 rejections, or you can even say there was 4 rejections right here. And yeah, then we broke out from this level, and then the big selling came in. I love when the big selling comes in, because all I do when there's big sellers is I look, where did we break out from? And I would say that we broke out from this $116 area, and maybe even more conservatively, because I like to trade very conservatively, this $114 area. Since you can see there's a lot of support and resistance. Actually, let me go ahead and make this little ascending triangle right here that we have into a more long-term line and show you guys exactly what I mean. So here, so now we have 2 lines, again, really highlighting this area. Yeah, so what we had a we broke down, we ran up really nicely, we broke out from this level, and then we broke back down to it, and this entry would have just been phenomenal. It would have been a little quicker. I probably would have had to be there, or I would have had to place a limit order ahead of time, which, you know, I probably would have been comfortable with. I missed this one. I was looking for it, but I didn't place a limit order, so I just wasn't ready for this trade, and I just entirely missed it. I think this was an overnight trade, so I wasn't online. But yeah, just all I remember was seeing this in hindsight and being like, wow, that is just, I mean, this is what I preach, and somehow I missed it. So that a little bit of a disappointment. Again, any one of these trades also would have been phenomenal. You can see, you know, this second double bottom right here. You could even trade this triple bottom. And again, you don't really want to trade these as the price is going down, because you don't ever know if the support line is going to crack. But when the support line really holds 3 times in a row, or let's just say when the support line holds any one of these times, you can buy on the way up. And look how many opportunities you would have had to buy on the way up. That's why I kind of put the star over here, because you have this huge confirmation, the support line held, and you could have entered the trade right here very easily, no stress. And again, quick 3% profit in maybe an hour or 2 hours, depending on how long you held this one. So just crazy. This is actually the trade I did today. And you can kind of see this trade goes with the motto of everything. We held support here. We held support here. This is a descending channel pattern. All the stars are aligning, right? We're in a bullish market, and then boom, I buy here and I sell here. Clean 4% profit, give or take. I already have this trade documented, and let's just go over to it right now. My day trades. This was trade 108, I believe it was. Yeah, 108. So $690 profit, 4.3% P&L. So just super clean. I actually had another missed opportunity, and that was right here. So right before I started this weekly trade review live stream, I had a limit order at $14.20 or something, or $114.20. So like literally right under the support line. And yeah, my goal was for the descending channel breakout. I mean, I was writing about this in the Discord trading chat, private trading chat room. I was, you know, just thinking about this all day. This is like a perfect trading setup, and I was just a little too conservative with my entry, and I definitely missed this run up. So a little disappointing, I would say, in that aspect, but you know, it's fine. You can't catch all trading setups, but I could only try to prepare you guys for them as well. And we can always talk about them in the Discord trading chat room, because yeah, hopefully somebody's looking at it, and hopefully somebody can profit off these patterns. Okay, so let's talk about maybe 1 or 2 upcoming trading ideas for this next week. And if I just go over to the 4-hour, which is one of my favorite time frames, it will be probably a really nice place to start that. I'm going to go ahead and delete these stars, by the way. I don't want them to kind of interfere with my trading. If I left stars for every one of my missed opportunities, this chart would just be full of stars. So I'm going to, what did I just delete? I'm just going to go ahead and delete the stars. It's way harder to do when your computer is like 5-second delayed on every click. I need to get that new $6,000 Apple desktop. I don't think I could get myself to do it. I just feel like spending that kind of money on a computer is against my, like, I don't know, personal vendetta, but I don't know, my personal principles, but it might be a good investment. I would love to trade with a very fast computer because I oftentimes complain about my computer lagging. So I might as well invest into it. And I don't know. I could use a laptop though, more than a desktop. Okay, so let's finish up this weekly trade review with just going over some ideal patterns. I'm not going to probably focus on Litecoin this time because we don't really know what's going to be happening with Litecoin. It's just kind of going a little crazy. Probably a potential entry would be any sort of a bounce where we broke out of. We broke out of, I would say, from this $122 area. So there's a good chance that we're going to have a breakout bounce. Where you break out of a level and then you kind of bounce back to it, and then that becomes a new launch pad. So an entry around this would actually be a pretty nice point. So let me go ahead and draw a line there. I'm just gonna kind of reach it over right here. So here, it kind of helps us remember where there was a key breakout. And this key breakout, again, was roughly around $122, maybe even a bit below it, maybe a bit more like 122.80. But yeah, I don't know, just keep that in mind. In this rough area, there's a good chance that we're gonna come down here and bounce off of it. Maybe just a bear trap kind of bounce. So it might just be a quick 2, 3, 4% bounce. But as a day trade, that's all you need to make a really, really nice and profitable day trade. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Let's go to NEO actually, because NEO is one of my long-term plays and I always like to check it out. So let's see what it's up to. So again, this is the circle I was drawing for NEO. We had a lot of support in this zone. It originally acted as a launch pad. So when we came back here, we had an initial small bounce, but we did crack below it for a little bit. So I probably could have done a second average in. I kind of, averaged in here originally and then averaged in anywhere down here closer to $11 again. Kind of decrease my cost per unit on NEO, but I think NEO right around here again, we saw some bullish activity here. So I think anything again towards this $12 area would be a great entry for a swing trade or a day trade. There's tons of room for upside, and even if you sold towards this resistance area, you could still probably lock in around 7-8% profit. I would say fairly risk reward wise, in a very positive ratio towards that. I mean, what's the risk? The risk is that we break down from this area, and if we're breaking down from this area, you could probably get out of the trade anytime without too much risk of something crashing quickly, because we already showed support. The bulls already showed that they want to buy if NEO drops to about 11.25%. I mean, that's a big buying zone. So that's your risk. It's not too much under 12. Maybe 2%, 2-3% risk, maybe even 4% risk, with a potential upside about, I would say, very, very easily 8-9%. So pretty solid risk reward right there. Let's check out Bitcoin. And then we'll check out maybe XRP, and we'll probably wrap up at there. So Bitcoin again, guys, these support lines, like, I don't make this up. I mean, these are the most consistent and reliable chart patterns ever, and they're just so easy to trade off of, because all you need to do is identify where there's support and where there's resistance, and then try to plan ahead a little bit on placing some limit orders around those areas. Enter trades near support, exit trades near resistance, and if you want to play it even safer, wait for a confirmation. What's a confirmation? It's when you have something like this candle right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Well, not that much. Okay, so there's a kind of green candle right here. It's more of a, I want to say hammer candle, but you could even say dragonfly, because it's, it's not really perfect. And then after that candle doesn't break down, right? The support comes in very nicely. You could buy anywhere in this candle, this next green candle, because there is a confirmation of that support line. And then you can, if you really want to trade, I would say conservatively, you could sell anywhere into here for a 5% profit, Or if you want to be a little bit more risky, see if there's going to be a breakout from this resistance zone, and then, you know, take your profits around here for 13% or something like that. I mean, that's how we do it. That's how we are consistently profitable every week and for many years now. So yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah, with Bitcoin, I don't know. Like, I'm not super favorable in going extremely long right now. I still average in every week for my long-term investment position. But as a swing trader, something like that, I might even wait for maybe more like an entry near the $7,000 level. So that's my personal take on Bitcoin right now. And then let's just review XRP, because this one bounced off the support line that we drew last week in the weekly trade review perfectly. I mean, check this out. Okay, so in the last weekly trade review, we drew this kind of support zone area, and then, you know, you could have placed any limit orders around this area. It probably would have been better to place a limit order than wait, because if you waited, you probably would have never got an entry like this. But again, if you set an alert, so TradingView texted you or something like that, when this price zone was touched, you could have checked the charts yourself, and then probably gotten into any of these green candles, and, you know, still have a clean 5% profit if you didn't get in a perfect entry or exit. So that would have been a very clean day trade right there. And if you're only trading with, like, let's say $10,000, 5%, boom, you just made $500 being just patient, you know, just waiting for a trade to come to you. And that's really what it's all about. So we might have a double bottom here. It's kind of hard to tell right now. But this would be probably a very reliable place to put a double bottom in, or a limit order right now, as a little kind of, let me take the marker out. So so yeah, so if this comes down here and kind of plays around a little bit in this area, and then we have a big launch from here, which there's a decent chance that might happen. We might kind of hold our highs a little bit. If we hold our highs, then getting into any sort of entry around there probably wouldn't be a bad idea either. So that's kind of my current take on XRP. I don't trade XRP too much. However, I do like the fact that it's in Coinbase, and I have recently traded it in a swing trade in this descending triangle that we had right here. We had support come in, and when I noticed that we had support come in the third time, I simply entered right around here. See, I wasn't aggressive. I was very conservative with this trade. I left about 5% on the table, but I just really like the fact that support held. We had a huge confirmation multiple times, and we're in a bullish market. So what does that mean? There's a high chance that we're going to break out to the upside. That's what we did. I took my profits fairly early, but I was super happy about this trade. I mean, this trade, I can't remember exactly, but let's check it out. This was about a 14% profit swing trade in just what, 2 days or something like that. I mean, how amazing is making 14% on your money in just 2 days? So I mean, super clean, super simple. That's how we like it. I think I'm going to wrap up the weekly trade review with that. I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about, and I have no questions coming in yet. So if you do have any more questions, feel free to email me ahead of time at alex@enzo.com, or leave a comment below, or leave a comment in the Discord private trading chat room. I check everything, and I will always get back to you within 24 hours, probably sooner, because I'm online quite often. So yeah, if you have any questions, just feel free to get in touch with me, and I will answer it. And if you know you're not going to be making one of these trade reviews, just leave a comment or question ahead of time, and then I'll make sure to incorporate it into the trading review, so you can see my live answer. Cool. Yeah, I think that is everything. I will see you guys next week, but I also will be coming out with more videos throughout the week, so stay tuned for that. Till next time, guys. Ciao, ciao.